Welcome to Can I Park Here? Brought to you by findafashiontruck.com. Nashay and Estrell's mission is to inspire future and existing small business owners. They don't claim to be experts. They're simply trying to figure this all out, just like you.
Hello, and welcome to Season 2 of the Can I Park Here podcast, brought to you by findafashiontruck.com. My name is Nashay, and I am here with
Estrell. We had the pleasure of interviewing Melissa Melbourne. She owns a fashion truck, Sense of Style boutique in New Jersey. She actually started off with a brick and mortar. It was a long time ago, and she had a rough time with that. She decided to just transition into the mobile boutique instead, and it turns out she really loves it. She actually has only been in business with the truck for less than a year, but she's actually doing very, very well. So stay tuned and listen to her story on how she got started. Here we go.
Melissa. Welcome to the Can I Park Here podcast. We really appreciate you coming on.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. Yay, let's get started.
So, can you tell us a little bit about Melissa before Sense of Style Boutique? Like, what's your story leading up to opening your fashion truck?
My story is basically, like every girl, we are consumed by fashion, loved it from the beginning. It wasn't until I want to say like my adolescent years, maybe like by the time I was like 13, 14 in the, early 90s is when I started like realizing how much I loved fashion. Like I started cutting, articles out of magazines and just doing crazy stuff. And it's crazy because I always thought that my name belonged in lights. I'm telling you, and I didn't know which kind of light, I wasn't sure which kind of light. I didn't know if I wanted to model, if I wanted to be an actress. I wasn't sure, but nonetheless, my love affair with fashion started, I want to say probably like in the 6th or 7th grade when I started to kind of understand different textures and understand trying to separate myself from everyone else, and wearing different things. And, from as far as I can remember, people used to always tell me, oh, you look so nice. You look so nice. Where'd you get this from? Where'd you get that from? How would you do this? How would you do that? So in hindsight, looking back now, I was always a stylist in training, but we didn't have access to the internet. It was a different world back then. So I didn't really know that I had this niche about myself or I had this, not even niche, but like this gift to, with clothes and fashion and helping people and so forth and so on. So that's a little bit about Melissa, the fashion part of it, as far as who I am, I'm a 38-year-old professional with a graduate degree in public administration. And I work for a major utility company here in New Jersey. In my free time, I sell clothes or I sell a vision. I don't sell clothes. I sell a vision. The clothes sell themselves. So that's what I do in my free time. I created the truck out of the sheer essence of a necessity. It wasn't so much. Yeah. So I knew nothing about trucks and fashion trucks and what kind of truck to get. And, I had no access to the Facebook group where there's a wealth of information readily available. I didn't have that. I just knew that I needed something to transport these clothes in a way that was organized, that was neat, that made it easy, made the shopping experience easy, and also made the conversation cool. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how to go about it. And what happened was one day the seed was planted. I was, because what I used to do is I used to hustle and bustle the clothes and sell them out of suitcases. I used to come in, sell them out the back of my trunk. I would load up my trunk and I would go to different salons. And they knew me by then, so I would come and I would have, the suitcase. And it was just, again, the clothes sold themselves because I'm more of quantity. I'm sorry, I'm more of quality over quantity. So the clothes, like I said, they sold themselves from the beginning organically. However, the presentation wasn't the best. I had stuff falling all over the place. People were pissed, but it was spilling out the suitcase. And when people are spending their money, they want, they want a better level of service, so to speak. Right. So I was having a conversation with another one of my fellow entrepreneurs. We were at a salon, and I was doing a pop-up shop there, and she came by and supported me. And we were talking, and she said, "You know what? I'm sick of just." Because she sold shoes and I sold clothes and accessories. So I'm sick of logging these shoes. I'm just going to get me a little van and I'm just going to throw this stuff in the back and that's going to be it. And it was like a light bulb went off. I was like, ding, 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 ding. I was like, wait a minute. So I'm like, wait, this might work. And I just, I planted the seed. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a fashion truck. And I prayed on it. I wrote down my goals and I stuck it in the Bible. Now, mind you, let me just make this very, very clear. I had $0. I had absolutely nothing. At the time, the company that I'm working for today, I had been let go from the company. So I was temping. I had absolutely no money. I had absolutely nothing. I was just like literally homeless. You know what I mean? Just like, and I stepped out on blind faith and I said, I'm going to get a fashion truck one day.
And what year was this?
This was in 2013. This was in 2013. And that's when the seed was planted. And I wrote down the goals. I said, I'm going to research and find a truck and get a fashion truck. And I put everything in the Bible and I left it as is and I went on about my business like absolutely nothing. I ended up getting my job back where I was because I was fired prematurely. So I'm sorry, I was terminated prematurely. So I ended up getting, my union fought for it and I got my job back. And they had to pay me almost $150,000 back. Hence the burden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is, I tell this story because it's a testimony because it was like, God worked everything out in my favor. So I ended up getting that money. And that's how we began with the truck itself. As far as the boutique, because we've been in business since like 2011, late 2010, officially established in 2011. And I just want to make this clear, ladies. I am... When I'm interested in doing something, I become a research buff. And I start from not even knowing where to begin to by the time that I'm finished, I can consult with you about how to go about doing it. And, I started, my boutique was birthed out of a tragedy. It was birthed out of the tragedy of the unexpected loss of my father. He went on vacation and somebody killed him. So I'm like, yeah, no, we're better now. We're better. So when all that happened, it was unexpected, of course. I didn't know how to grieve. I'm like, I still didn't grasp the idea. I was upset. I was angry. And I was looking for something to do to keep my mind off of it because at the time, I was out of work on disability because I was grieving the loss of my father. So right around this time, I got my income tax. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend my money on buying a whole bunch of clothes and all this stuff. What about I just open up a boutique or something? So then I just started researching. And then the first thing I did was I got my tax ID. I researched how to open a business in New Jersey. And I went on the state's website and I opened up, I got a tax ID and everything. I didn't even have a name. I just was like, whatever. And I went to sleep that night and I woke up the next morning and it was Sense of Style Boutique. And one of the things that I pride myself on is being able to help people with styling tips in regards to how they can wear the clothes that they purchase from me. So so looking back, it was more like once you leave my store, you'll now have a sense of style. And that's, and that, I know it's a little cliche and corny, but that's how, that's it, that's how I was thinking. And it just stuck. It just stuck. And I'm like, okay, it stuck. And we went through the whole long name process and, the back and forth with a young lady. And then I just decided to break it down to SOS Boutique, but I still keep a vital part of Sense of Style Boutique. It's on the truck itself, but we shortened the website and, our social media handles, all say SOS Boutique. And, that's just how it was birthed. It was just birth. It was birthed out of love. And everything I did was trial and error. I paved the city of New York in the garment district. And at first I started with what I liked. And, what I quickly learned is that what I liked didn't translate into what other people might like.
Right.
So now I started following different trends and still trying to stay true to me, not trying to go overboard with, different things. And I've always had a really good knack of picking really good clothing. I'm the owner, operator, marketing, buyer. I'm everything rolled into one. I play many different roles. My assistant, basically, she helps me when I do festivals and cleaning out my inboxes and help me on photo shoots, but everything else I do. Like next week I'll be at Fame and I'll be doing the buying process. I'll go through the buying process for the spring. And, in doing this for a while, I'm starting to see what works and what doesn't work. Like the winter is not good for us in the up north. It's just I don't make any money in the winter, so I focus more now on the summer because the summer months is when I'm out and I'm doing a lot more events. The winter months I'm not doing a lot of events, and the truck is not that secure enough because I haven't put a heater in there yet, so it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
And it gets really, really cold. Like now it's starting, it was very seasonable, but now it's starting to get really, really cold. So I'm like, okay, I can't really drive it. So I just go and warm it up and stuff. And then I'm back now to doing what I was doing before, which is hustling out of the car. But instead of me bringing suitcases, I'm bringing you your orders, like whatever you order, I'm just bringing it. So, yeah, so that's I can get long-winded, y'all. Y'all need to cut in.
Right.
Next question, please.
Okay. So let's talk about how you went about searching for your truck and then what type of footwork that you have to put into it in regards to getting it outfitted to how you needed it to be.
Okay, so yeah, there was a lot of footwork that was done. Like I said, I didn't know anything about a fashion truck. I just Googled one day fashion truck and it was like a whole new world opened up to me. So now I started researching it and I saw that it was, basically more prevalent in warmer climates in LA and things like that. And I just started just doing research. I was on Craigslist looking for a truck and, we would go through, I think I must have went through like 7 or 8 trucks first. Went down to Philly to find one, went to South Jersey, just all over. And then I found a pretzel truck. I found a pretzel truck and it came with lighting already in it. It wasn't expensive. My budget for the truck, I was like around $6,500. I got the truck for $27,000 and I did a lot of work on the truck. As far as outfitting it, I knew exactly what I wanted. I did not want clutter. So I wanted it to be very, very similar to a walk-in closet. And we wanted everything to be just really clean cut, jackets on one side, shelving in the middle, the longer articles of clothing in the front where the poles were higher. So I knew exactly how I wanted it. And how I arrived at that is because I've researched and I looked at other people's trucks and determined what it was that I wanted. I knew I wanted wood floors or the look of wood floors in the truck. So, I did a lot of research, poured over months in research. I would leave work and come home and I would turn on my computer and research up until 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and just do like I said, just researching, getting a B Corp for the state of New Jersey, what I had to do was I went back onto the state of New Jersey's website and I registered SOS Boutique LLC because I wanted that buffer a little bit,
It's good to have
Good.
that.
Yeah, so I did an LLC and then just did the footwork. So yeah.
And then how long would you say it took you between you getting the truck and then you having the truck kind of on the road, kind of doing shows, festivals, and you name it?
Oh yeah, that took me about 6-7 months. It took me about 6-7 months because I got the truck. I got the truck in December of 2014. I got the truck in December of 2014. I left it at the mechanic's shop for months. I want to say for like 3 or 4 months. Like we didn't really start doing anything major until like March. We put a new engine in. Then it was determined that needed a new transmission. Put a new transmission in, and then we started like middle of April. We started to do the build out of the back of the truck, so it was ready by my launch date, which was May 17th of 2015.
Ah. Yeah. So you haven't had the truck operational for a full year. So how did your first summer go?
I did awesome. My launch, I made $5,000.
Wow.
And that carried me over. Then I had some festivals where I made $1,600 in one shot one day, another $1,600 another day, $1,500 at not one other event, and so forth and so on. So the summers are really proven for me when I do a lot of these dance music festivals. So so it worked for me. What I found myself doing is I was neglecting the website. So I tried to bring it back in the winter now where, okay, well, I'm not out and about like I am in the summer. So let's kind of focus on the website. And it's, it's a constant rat race because you have so many, people out here that don't take this business seriously. And it makes the people that do take the business seriously work 3 or 4 times harder to gain your trust and to gain your dollar. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really hard because you have these Instagram boutiques that pop up out of nowhere, steal your money, and it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. So now when they come across my site and they see something nice, although they want to order, they won't do it because of the stigma that's associated with it, So it's hard. So what I try to do is I try to focus on my already existing customers because that's where my money comes from.
And they know you, they trust you. And so just having them, I guess, be repeat customers.
Yes. And then I do a lot of different events where I meet new customers, and then I do a lot of salon visits. And that works for me as well because I have them anticipating me coming, and they know she's got the good stuff. So, it works out for me. It works out for me when I go to the salons.
Have you found, has like Instagram helped? Because I see you have like almost 7,400 followers. So yeah, I was just curious, has that helped at all with either, bringing people to the website or just like, did it help with the launch of your boutique?
I pay somebody to help me find followers. So I've been doing that. It's like yes and no. It's like, yes, you're gaining more you're gaining more activity on your page. But to me, it's like, no, because they'll go to my website and still not purchase anything.
Right. So it could be hit or miss.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. So, and then sometimes I'll get someone that come on my page, like what they see, go to the website and buy something. And it's like, I always tell people, likes does not necessarily correspond to money.
Right.
So people have this big thing because they see over 150,000 followers. That's fine. They could have that, but that doesn't mean that anybody's spending. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
But having that higher number does provide a little bit more legitimacy to the business, and it entices people to say, she has a lot of followers, she must be popular, let me go check out and see what she has.
I definitely do agree with you. And then you have some people that buy all their followers, and then they have 150,000 followers and 22 people are liking their pictures.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like, so yeah, it's, I'm learning that Instagram is very, very tricky. It's not like Facebook to me. Facebook, I have it under wraps. Not my page per se, but my personal page where I can post something and I'll get 50 comments on it. Or I post something, I can get 35, 40 comments on it and it'll sell out. Yeah, it'll sell out. And I think it's because the people that purchase from me, they know the face behind the brand, I keep everything because I always have to keep in mind, and I always tell myself that I'm my brand. So I'm a reflection of my brand. So I don't do anything negative. I don't engage in politics. I don't engage in whatever's going on in the media. I don't engage in it because I have to remain. I do that with my girlfriends. I do that with my girlfriends. So I won't share anything about, let's say, for example, case in point, what's going on with Bill Cosby. I mean, I have my opinions on it, but I don't share it on my page. I don't share because I just try to just stay out of all of that and focus on just selling the clothes and just focus on my personality with, people that follow me come to know that I'm very funny and they like interacting with me. I'm very smart, very kind, very nice to people. So, that wins them over too, as well, and even on my Instagram page, like I've never had any issues, with PayPal owing. Like I'm just very legitimate. I don't, I grew up in an era where trust was key, so if you purchase something from me, it's shipped out the next day.
Right.
It's shipped out the next day with a tracking number, because my thing is like, if I buy something from Zara keeps me posted until my stuff arrives. So why can't I offer that same level of service?
Right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So when you got ready to open up the boutique, the mobile boutique, how did you determine how much product that you needed to order in order to start your launch?
I didn't know. Number one, I'm a fashion addict, so I was buying everything. I have to be honest, because this is where I'm coming from, a place of honesty. I bought so much stuff. And although a lot of it sold at the event, I was still left over with a lot. So I tried to hustle all that by the end of the, throughout the whole summer. I tried to hustle those clothes, and I ended up sending the clothes to Jamaica, like to my family in Jamaica, because it wasn't selling. I had oversold, but that taught me moving forward in the winter months. I didn't overstock. Like when you go on the truck now, there's a whole bunch of room. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of hangers because I didn't overstock. I didn't buy a lot of stuff. I said, this is it. Whatever sells. If not, I'll put it in a box and next year we'll put the same thing out.
And so even though you were continuously buying stuff, is there like an estimated overall amount that you invested into the clothing and accessories?
Yeah.
Initially?
Initially it might have been about $3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you go to trade shows to get them or?
I went to trade shows. I went to Magic. And I've also built up good relationships with some vendors online. And the only reason, and that was through me meeting them at trade shows. So I'm very wary about just picking anyone. I don't, like I said, I'm quality over quantity. I don't do what everybody else is doing. I don't sell the stripper clothes. It's not my thing. It's not my thing because again, I'm 38. You understand? So whenever I wear whatever I wear from my store, it's always in such a light where everybody says, wow, you always make your clothes look so nice. You know, you always make the clothes look so nice. And that's the whole idea behind it. You know, the whole idea is that I don't have to put on my entire boutique. I can wear a piece from my boutique and so forth. And it's a constant struggle because you want to try and get a few pieces in that sexy dresses, but you don't want to go overkill. You know, you don't want to do overkill. And that's where I struggle. And I said, no, I'm not going to compromise my integrity. I'm not going to do it.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about your photo shoots? Like I'm looking on your website and your main slider. Did you take all of those photos? Like are those photos from a photo shoot you did?
Yeah, those photos are from a photo shoot that we did. When did we do the shoot? We did it in September, the ending of September, early October. And that was some of our fall pieces that we had come in. So we did the shoot at my assistant's house against her living room wall.
Ah, okay. And then do you have like a DSLR? Like, do you take the photos or does she take the photos or do you hire someone?
Actually, that was a photographer that did it. But guess what, honey? I got smart. I went and bought me a DSLR. I bought me a 50 millimeter lens. It comes with the lens. And I just bought a Groupon certificate for $19 for photography classes online. While I was waiting for you guys to Skype me, I was on there watching it. Like I'm not.
But the photos look absolutely fabulous. I like
Thank you.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to try to do more blog style photos with, just showing the clothes in action. More like not really. I don't know if it's called editorial. I want the clothes to be very relatable. So I want to just put them on a body and have you walk while I take the pictures or, I've been researching a lot of blog sites and looking at how they take their pictures and, what lens they use and things like that. And I'm learning a lot, I'm learning a lot because truth be told, I can't afford a photographer every time. I get new products in every week. So it's very hard for me to have a photographer for every 2 weeks. They charge $500 and then I have to get makeup and hair. It's just too much.
Yeah, maybe just for special occasions or something.
Yeah, maybe for like my winter or something, winter, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I plan on doing. I plan on making sure that every time that I upload any pictures of the products that it's on a body,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people like to see people in it. It just kind of helps them get a sense of how it might fall or how it looks on.
And it also shows a sense of relatability, so to speak, because people can be like, oh, well, she has the same body type as myself, so if it looks good on her, I know that it'll look good on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, at what point did you know like that you needed to get like an assistant?
When I couldn't remember nothing anymore. No, seriously, I'm like, oh my God, like when because for a long time, my mind held everything, the wealth of information. Then I was starting to lose my mind because I'm like, where's the shirt that I just had? And I would have the shirt on. So I'm like, okay, there's an issue. And when I knew it, when I just couldn't quite remember what I needed to do. I just couldn't quite remember what I needed to do. And I did the groundwork and I found her and she's just perfect. She's perfect. I don't necessarily need her right now. So.
Because it's like the winter season. Now, how long has she worked for you?
Not even a year. Like maybe like 6 months. Maybe like 6 months.
Like once you really started once you started that fashion truck.
Yeah, once I started the truck is where I needed her help because we did a lot of festivals. And with festivals, boy, there's some work that's involved.
So what's kind of next for Sense of Style Boutique?
Well, what's next for us is really just trying to move, just continuing what we're doing, but do it now on a level where, starting to do blog style photos, really just trying to connect the truck and the store together as one. Not necessarily with the clients that already know me, but more so with the audience that's out in the world. Also building our social media presence. That's really big for me right now. I'm trying to get to like 10,000 followers by March.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so we're on target
Good
for
for
that,
you.
to try to hit 10,000 followers, and legitimate followers. Just, try to hit followers, and again, just really just start doing blog style photos, and really preparing for the spring now. Just really putting everything on sale now, and just preparing for the spring, and just starting to learn my camera better so I can start taking pictures, of the product on a body.
Yeah.
That's what's much next for us.
Now, a lot of truck owners have issues with parking. What has been your experience since you started the truck?
I haven't had any issues because you know why?
It sounds like you just park anyway. You can say, forget it, I don't care.
Listen, I'll be in and out. Listen. Sometimes, and you know what? I go to areas where the police are not really, they don't focus on you. So like I go to a lot of the urban areas, and one of the reasons why I go there, because I love the reaction that I get from people of color, people that identify with me, because they're in awe, like, wow, how did you do that? And for me, I'm thankful for the truck, because the truck has served as a sense of hope for a lot of people. Like, wow, she's really living her dreams. Like, you don't understand. So many people will see me on the highway and literally run me over because they want to tell me how proud they are of me. And they don't even know me. But just this, it's sort of like that solidarity, because I'm African American, and they see me doing something that is unconventional to them. Like, they've never seen anything like this before. So they're like, "Wow, I'm excited for you." I had some people come on the truck and pray over the truck, and just like really, just it's been a very, very good reception that we've gotten. As far as parking, that's still an issue, because in the state of New Jersey, it's really still hard for them to figure out how to go about giving out the permits, and that's where the struggle comes in at, because you're a legitimate business, but are you a peddler? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so they don't know where it falls into. And that's the issue that we're having, because there's not a lot of legislation behind this. So it makes it hard. So until then, I go on private properties. So
Yeah.
that's what works for me. Like, if some of my salons that I go to, they're privately owned. So there's a parking lot. They know that I'm coming. They, clear out. They put 2 cones down for me, and then that's it.
Oh, neat.
So I get help from there. And sometimes, like if I go to a salon that doesn't really have a parking lot, I park on the side of the street, and it's not usually early in the morning. It's usually in the afternoon, when everybody's not a lot of people are there. And it's usually at a salon where I'm not anticipating to make a lot of money, maybe a quick $100 or so, but I just find ways, to be honest with you. I just find ways. That's the best answer I can come up with.
What POS system do you use in the truck?
Actually, I just use my Square, and I just write down, each time we sell something, I write it down, because I give out my receipts. So now when I come home, I put all that in and take it off the website and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily have a POS system right now. I did at one point, but the Square just works best for me. I'm just my phone. Everybody else I come across, they have these really beautiful point POS system. I'm like, wow, that's gorgeous.
But I think the phone and the tablet, they do the trick,
Yeah, so I'm like, when I grow up, I want one of those. But until then, it's just my phone or my tablet. I just swipe and send them their receipts, and write down everything, and then I get their email addresses to add to the email list and stuff. Yeah, like I do the groundwork for that. Like, my assistant will do the bagging and all of that stuff, and I'll just I'll do the checkout, and then she'll write down her email address and stuff. So we work together as a team. When I do these smaller events, like if I'm going to the salons or anything, it's not so much where I might make $500, but I know what they want, so I write it down. And I do I have a receipt book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what's been working for me right now.
Do
No, that's
you have
great.
any intentions of ever opening up a brick and mortar in the
No,
future?
I had that already. I had that. I
Oh,
just
okay.
think
I thought
that
you just had the online store
no,
and then the
no.
local
I
boutique.
started I started with a cheesy website. Then I told myself that God told me to go here and open up a store, and I opened up a store, and that was the hardest thing that I could have ever done, because it was managing like two household incomes at the same time, and it became depressing for me. Because I was behind on my bills. I was behind on my bills because I was focused on the store, like trying to make sure I had the inventory, trying to keep up all this stuff, and I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready in the least bit.
Mm.
It was very hard. So then I closed the store down, and then we transitioned back online, and then we said, okay, we're going to do the truck. And that was it. And that's it so far. I don't know what other great idea I'll have next year. Every year I have this really big, grandiose idea. So,
Just go with the flow.
yeah.
Well, we just have a few wrap up questions for you just to help the audience get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite blog, book, or TV show? And if so, what is it?
Okay. Do I have a favorite blog? My favorite blog right now is, I love Fashion Bomb Daily, so I'm always on that. TV shows, I don't necessarily watch TV at all. And right now, I'm reading a book that is my favorite so far. It's called What to Say to Yourself When You're Speaking to Yourself. So it's by Sal Hendrickson. It's a really good book. He's a psychologist. I'm sorry. So it's a really good. It's about, like, telling yourself positive affirmations, and really talking to yourself in a way that you understand what you're saying, that your brain comprehends what you're saying to yourself, and speaking softly to yourself and gently. It's really a good book. It's good. So that's it. I don't
Oh,
really
yeah.
TV. I used to. Scandal was my show for a while, but I don't know. I'm just not a TV junkie as much as I used to be. So,
No time.
no, not really, because by the time I get out of work, I'm, doing stuff like trying to set up stuff for the weekend, or, you know, um, trying to engage my social media audience. It's like this job is um 24 hours. I was just watching a movie the other day called The Intern with Anne Hathaway and
Oh, yeah.
Robert
I
De
haven't
Niro.
seen it.
It's a really good movie. It's a quirky movie. It's sort of like The Devil Wears Prada, but not on the level like that. Basically, she started her own e-commerce website, and it just took off. And I'm like, wow, I wish that was me in real life. Like, she became like she became like her boss. She had investors. She became like a nasty gal, so to speak. And she hired Robert De Niro as her intern, and it was just good to watch. And I think I liked it because it resonated with me, because I can identify with it,
Yeah.
being the heartbeat of your company, you know. Yeah, and I liked the movie. So yeah, that's the most recent movie that I saw that I liked.
I'll definitely check it out. I've seen the previews. I just haven't taken the
Oh,
time
it's
to
really good.
watch it.
It's good, and it's like old school meets new school. It's really good. It's really good, and no matter what comes along, she never lost her basic principle, which is just really being front and center, really understanding the packaging, really understanding the clothes, and really just understanding and engaging her audience.
And if you could have any celebrity, entertainer, model, athlete, whoever visit your mobile boutique, who would it be?
Oh God, that is so. You know who I would really like for Rihanna to come on my truck?
Because she has like a nice, like a good style, like a crazy style. Like she doesn't go with the trends.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I know if she steps on my truck, she will get something from my truck. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. Like, what I like about Rihanna is that she's just got this attitude, like, um, like she doesn't necessarily care what people think about her. It's, you know what I mean? She's at a space in her life where she's accomplished all that she needed to or all that she wanted to, and she really doesn't hear anything outside of what she tells herself. You understand?
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
so I would love to have her on the truck. At first I thought it was gonna be Beyonce, but I was like, no, she's boring. So I'll
Wow.
don't get me wrong, I am a stan. I love her, but what when you look at things from a styling perspective, Beyonce always looks like somebody is putting her clothes together for her and she's just wearing it, like very contrived. Like Rihanna just looks, she oozes style, you know, like no matter what she wears, she manages to pull it off.
Yeah. And what do you like to do in your free time to just wind down and de-stress when you have the time?
Search for clothes and search for styles. And I'm always on Pinterest. I'm always on Tumblr looking at the next trends. So that's what I do in my free time.
I love Pinterest. Pinterest is an addiction.
It's an addiction for me. I'm just on there and I'm just like, you know, I'm in the process of trying to get another home. And right now I'm looking at different kitchen ideas. I'm looking at different painting ideas, just a lot of different stuff. And it's just, I love it. I love Pinterest. I didn't know, I thought Facebook was like the God for me. And now I'm finding that I'm sick of it. So I log out from time to time. I log out for 2-3 weeks and on hand. But then I'm stuck on Pinterest.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely just love Pinterest for personal use, but also I have a Shopify account and I use they have the Pinterest plugin so you could do the buyable pins. And a lot of my traffic and sales come from Pinterest. So it's kind of nice because I'm making money from Pinterest and I just love to just go on there for whatever, you know, DIY ideas, style ideas, you name it. So yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea because my website is Shopify as well. So I can look for an app on Shopify that can plug into the bio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you go, I think it's like the home, like when you log into your Shopify account.
Yeah.
And you go on to, I think it's like the homepage or the dashboard. Somewhere on there, it should say something like, you know, buyable pins, Pinterest, something about Pinterest. And basically you sign up, you sync it to your Pinterest account. It takes them a couple of days to like approve your pins. And then once they're approved, they kind of create a buyable pins board on your Pinterest account. And then it's part of their buyable pins community. And it's really helpful. It's really nice.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna call Shopify.
Oh yeah, because their customer service is like bar none. It's top of the line.
I tell you know what too. A lot of the times when people ask me what's a good website to go with for, you know, like because I get a lot of questions about opening up a boutique and online, and they want to do X, Y, and Z, and I tell them Shopify, bar none. I love Shopify. I love Shopify. I love what they do. So, what's your Shopify store website?
Oh, I am creativeroute.com.
Oh, let me plug you in.
But yeah, I mean, absolutely to all the listeners out there, like I was debating of experimenting with Shopify or Squarespace just so I can get to know it a little bit more. So as Estrella and I talk about the difference between WordPress, Shopify, and Squarespace, that, you know, I could talk intelligently about like which system is the best. And I've used almost all of them except Squarespace. But the reason why I chose Shopify was it just had more bells and whistles. And so far I've used the buyable pins plugin, which is great. When I've gone out to sell at like a farmer's market recently, I used the Shopify app to sell my stuff. Everything worked great. It was beautiful. And then the next thing I'm going to try is I don't have a Facebook page right now for my business, but I'm going to open one and do the direct sale on Facebook to see how that goes too. I wish they let you do it with your personal page because like you, I feel like sometimes with your personal page, when you post things, people, because they know you, tend to interact a little bit more.
Yeah.
But in order for you to have like this Facebook store, it has to be like a business page. So,
and you know what? Now they're gotten to the point now where, you have to pay to boost sales. You have to pay.
yeah,
So it's like you post on the page and nobody sees it anymore.
I know. I'm really mad at Facebook. I think
Yeah.
Estrella is too. But yeah, definitely check my store out. But yeah,
Also,
and look for that on.
I'm gonna get some stuff as soon as I get situated.
Yeah, definitely. If you're on Shopify, check out the buyable pins because it doesn't hurt.
Okay,
And
no
then
problem.
also, are you Android or iPhone? And what's your favorite app?
I'm Android. What's my favorite app? Jesus. I absolutely adore Pinterest, like I stated. Yeah, between Pinterest and PhotoGrid.
What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail?
If I knew I could not fail, I would attempt to become the president.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
wow.
You should
The
take
most
Trump's
stressful
place.
job in America.
Take Trump's
Yeah.
place in the running for.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, I would not want that job, but if I knew I couldn't fail at it, I would try it. You know what it is?
Well, that's true. Because if you couldn't fail at it, that means that you would be an awesome president.
Yeah.
And you would do everything that the country needs in order to succeed.
Yeah, I'm the type of friend that I connect everybody together. You know what I mean? I've always been the connector. I'm always the person that's always bringing new people around. Like, I love people. I'm not saying that we don't live in a world where racism does exist. I'm not blind to that. But I don't spend my energy consumed in that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you treat me nice, I treat you good.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. I don't really experience that a lot. I don't know if it's because I'm up north in New Jersey. We don't necessarily really experience that. And if it's there, it's probably, in home. So you don't really see it as if you would if you were somewhere else. But like I said, I'm the person that connects everybody together, get along with everybody. So that's why I said if it was a job that I could not fail at, I would want to be the president.
Good for you.
Okay.
For Melissa. and last but not least, too, where can everyone find you? Please let everyone know your social media handles and your website so they can look you up.
Of course, you can find us at www.sosboutique.net. You can also find us on Instagram at SOSboutique_LLC. Again, that's SOSboutique_LLC. We're on Twitter at SOS Boutique LLC, and Facebook is Sense of Style Boutique. So yeah, and again, our website is www.sosboutique.net.
Well, thank you, Melissa. We really appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy your day, okay?
All right.
Starting the new year with another inspirational story. It's kind of one of those things like no matter what happens, no matter what hurdles you have to go through, like you stay focused and you can achieve your dreams, do what you need to do. And I think it's also another good case of, showing that you don't have to quit your day job to do something you love. Like she's doing both right now.
I really admire Melissa. She stuck through it. She followed her dreams, and she's actually doing what she really, really wants to do right now. And that's how you have to stick it out. You have to stay on the course. Whatever you want to do, just do it. And now she's doing something that she loves, and that's really what it's all about.
It absolutely is. And, we've had a lot of questions about people wanting to get assistance. And so I think this is another example of someone, and we've had people talk about on the podcast before, of getting that kind of extra help, be it with social media or just on the truck. And so if you think you need help, you figure out how to do it. I read something once, I think I may have mentioned it on the podcast before, where you get the help before you really, really need the help, right? You don't want to be in debt.
But I think one of the issues is for a lot of the new businesses is that it's already difficult to get started because of money issues. And then it takes a long time to actually start making a profit. So if you're not really making a lot, it's how can I afford to, I need help, but how can I afford to pay for help if I'm not really, making a return on my investment just yet? So I think that is the tricky part right there.
Yeah. And sometimes then you have to get creative. Either you get a niece or nephew or somebody that's in college or high school to help you out. Or either, since you are a legitimate business, you pair up with some of the schools that have, kind of these internship programs and maybe see if they could get credit for helping you out during the summer or during another season. And you get free labor, but in turn, they're getting kind of credits for helping out a business. So no, that's a valid point. But if you really need the help, you sometimes get creative and see how you could do it within your means. But so it was great talking to Melissa. I think she was great. It was good having her on. And look forward to seeing her kind of expand and grow in 2016.
Absolutely.
Again, thanks for tuning in for the second season of the Can I Park Here podcast. If you'd like to kind of help us out and keep us going, please be a patron on Patreon. We'd really appreciate that. You could donate $1 per episode, $5 per episode, $20 per episode, kind of whatever you're most comfortable with. But it definitely helps us and helps us with the bills, like, the hosting and everything else that we have to pay for. So anything you have to give would greatly be appreciated. And if you want to do that, you could just go to startafashiontruck.com/support and it'll take you right to our Patreon page.
So in 2016, I've decided to pass the begging torch over to Nashay. So I will no longer beg you guys to go to iTunes and rate and review us. Once again, I will no longer beg you to go to iTunes and rate and review us. Take that how you may.
But I will. No, you guys, seriously, we really appreciate everybody who's taken the time to give us a review. It helps us get up the charts. So an easy way, if you're not already following us with the app on your iPhone, if you do have an iPhone, just go to startafashiontruck.com/iTunes. It'll take you right there. And then you can either give us a star rating or a star rating, and you could type a little something, and you guys just don't know. It really helps us, and it'll probably help us get sponsors in the future too. So thank you to all of you all who have already done it. And thank you to people who will do it in the future.
Yes, just know it makes us all fuzzy in the inside when we get those lovely 5-star reviews.
Yes. And then, of course, you can find us everywhere on social media, at FFT_official_ on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to find us on Pinterest or Facebook, just type in Find a Fashion Truck and we will come right up.
Also, don't forget, you can also have the option to leave us a voice recorded message on the SpeakPipe app on startafashiontruck.com/podcast.
So we will leave you with that. I just got one thing to say. This is a new year, folks.
Are you going to tell everybody to stop being lazy? Really? Is this what it's leading to?
No. No. I'm just going to tell everyone, like, no excuses, right? Whatever your goals are for 2016, write them down. You know what I do is I do a couple of things, like, but one thing that's small but works is on a Post-it note. I write down exactly what I want to accomplish and I put it on the back of my keyboard that I use on my main computer. And every once in a while, I just turn it around and I look at kind of what I want to accomplish, and it just kind of helps keep me motivated and keeps me focused. So my thing is figure out kind of what works for you, like have some kind of reminder up of what you want to do and actually do it, right? You know, that's all I'm saying. Figure out, do 3 main goals. If it's kind of getting, what did Melissa say? She wanted to get up to 10K for followers, I believe, on Instagram. It could be that. It could be starting a fashion truck. It could be doubling your sales from the last couple of years. Whatever those goals are, write them down and then write down the steps you need to do to get there, and then just bust your butt and you'll get there. That's all I was going to say. Thank you.
Okay. That's all for today. Thanks for parking, dear.
Bye.